don't really know Oprah, but I'm going to reach out to Tyler. I appreciate that. Kevin kept his word. He reached out to Tyler Perry.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show.
Okay, that's crazy. The lion's riding the bike, and then you go home and enjoy the rest of your day. I don't feed into the stuff at all. At the end of the day, it's all entertainment.
Don't really know Oprah, but I'ma reach out to Tyler. I appreciate that Kevin kept his word. He reached out to Tyler Perry in 15 years in Hollywood. No one in Hollywood has a memory of going to holdout Kevin Hart show. Go okay, that's crazy. The lion's riding a bike, and then you go home and enjoy the rest of your day. I don't feed into the stuff at all at the end of the day. It's all entertainment. Monique recently appeared on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay podcast and didn't hold back. She shared her opinions, spilling tea all over Oprah Winfrey, Kevin Hart, Al Sharpton, Tiffany Haddish, and Tyler Perry. However, how do you think Tyler Perry reacted to all this, and what sparked his latest twist in the Hollywood gossip tale in the first place? Let's break it all down, but of course before we go any further, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Now let's get going. I talked to Tyler. He said you don't want to revisit it. He said, but I tell you what, let's move past that, Mo. Let's just move past that. And let's just do great things to come years later and try to tag along just for their own. Shannon Sharp did it again. On February 7th, the Football Hall of Famers sat down with comedian and actor Monique for a nearly 3-hour-long episode of his Club Shay podcast. And just like when he infamously hosted Cat Williams in January, clips from the interview began going viral online even before the episode finished streaming on YouTube. During the nearly 3-hour episode, Monique called out several key figures in the TV and film community, while resurfacing old beefs that did not appear to have been settled. Monique claims that prior to not wanting to do international press opportunities for Precious, she had never been labeled difficult, saying, "I never complained about the $5,000, the amount she earned for her role in Precious. I did everything I was supposed to do. It is when they started asking me to become a slave is when Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey started asking me to work for free. It is when they started doing the bidding for whomever the gatekeeper was at that time. No Oprah. But I'm going reach out to Tyler. Appreciate that Kevin kept his word. He reached out to Tyler Perry." Monique also said after she sent audio of a private conversation between her and Tyler Perry to Al Sharpton. The civil rights leader responded, "What that man did to you was wrong. And you're like my daughter, and we're going to have to get him to fix that." After that, Sharpton's help appeared to be in limbo. We didn't hear from Al Sharpton for 6 months. The next time we saw Al Sharpton, he was on a podium talking about, "We don't need to fly commercial 'cause we can fly Tyler Perry's private jet." She explained. I said, "That's why maybe I'm not hearing back from him." The wall. Kevin Hart wrote us a check and said, "Here you go. We're forever grateful for that when we were able to give it back." We said, "Brother, we appreciate you," with some interest on top cut. I don't never want nobody to think my husband so. Meanwhile, during the show, Monique also recounted a discussion she had with Hart, who agreed to work with her on new projects. I'll tell you what, let's move past that. Tyler Perry not wanting to revisit their past grievances. And Mo, let's move past that and let's do some great things together. I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know what you want to do. She remembered Hart saying, although Hart provided Monique with the finance assistance that she eventually paid back with interest, he would later pull out of their deal. Monique said she reached out to media production company Endale to inform them of her new alliance with Hart 2 weeks later. Monique learned their deal had fallen short. Well, Kevin manager, David Becky said, "I called Kevin Hart immediately. I said, 'Hey baby, we just got off the phone with email,' and they said Dave Becky called them up and said, 'You don't want anything to do with me.' Endale says we just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, DeBecky, and DeBecky says Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Monique After that, Monique phoned Hart, who claimed it was all a miscommunication. We'll talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it, Monique says Hart told her. According to Monique, that was 2 years ago. I've never talked to Kevin Hart again. She noted miscommunication. I can tell you right now. I said, wait a minute. Are you okay, though? With this white man calling them up, getting in between our relationship after. Or something you said, he said, Mo. That's a miscommunication, and we going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication that was 2 years ago. Monique seized the moment to address the various narratives that have intertwined with her career journey. From the fallout with Tyler Perry over promotion for her Oscar-winning role and Precious, to the roots of her conflict with D.L. Hughley and her lawsuit against Netflix for discriminatory pay, she delves into these topics with unprecedented openness. She reveals details like secretly recorded phone calls with Perry, where he admitted to spreading rumors about her being difficult to work with, resulting in significant career setbacks. These include losing lucrative opportunities like the role of Cookie on Empire, and a handshake deal with Kevin Hart for a revival of her talk show, allegedly sabotaged by Hart's manager, Per. Who you talking to when they going to pay that kind of no? I'm telling you, that's what it is. And if you just go and promote it. I said, listen, brother, you can pay me to promote her 'cause at the time now him and Oprah producers on the film, right? I said you can pay me to do it. I don't care where the check come from, but y'all just got to pay me to. In another part of the interview, Monique addresses perceived slights from figures like Oprah Winfrey and Tiffany Hates regarding Winfrey, who was involved in the production of Precious. Monique recounts feeling privately supported in her decision not to engage in free promotion for the film. However, Winfrey later aired an episode of her talk show without Monique's consent, focusing on her experiences of maltreatment. As for Hades, Monique references a 2018 GQ interview where Hadish made comments about her business decisions and personal life. Monique implies that if Hadish had a husband like hers, she might have avoided certain legal troubles and allegations. I remember our beautiful sister Tiffin Hadish did an interview with GQ magazine, and this, in my humble opinion, is where we keep throwing each other under the bus. Like mine, you may not have 2DU. In addition to addressing personal grievances, Monique discusses issues of discrimination and unequal treatment faced by herself and other Black women in Hollywood. She also critiques the American schooling system and highlights her ongoing struggle for fair compensation for her work, and explained how she still hasn't been fairly compensated with residuals for her sitcom, The Parkers. While the interview is filled with memorable quotes, it's recommended to watch it in its entirety if other comedians followed suit and shared their experience was sharp throughout 2024. It would undoubtedly ache for compelling viewing. I got a show called The Parkers after I was in Hollywood less than 90 days. Wow, 90 days. And you have agents, and you have managers, and you have had attorneys. But how was all this Club Shay beef started in the first place? For years, Kevin Hart and Cat Williams have engaged in a heated feud, turning the comedy world into their battleground. This conflict, brewing for nearly a decade, sees Cat's direct criticisms and Kevin's calculated responses, keeping audience is captivated. Cat doesn't limit his attacks to Hart, also targeting athletes like Shaquille O'Neal for their comedic ventures, fueling the fire since August 2014. Their ongoing feud has captivated the entertainment industry for years. By February 2016, tensions reached a boiling point during Cat Williams' tour stop in Atlanta, where he boldly labeled Kevin Hart a puppet, sparking a media frenzy. Despite criticism, C.A.D. asserted his place in comedy and urged support for fellow Black artists, while also comparing himself to Black comedians. To underline his talent, Cat Williams compared criticism to blaming Kermit the Frog instead of Jim Henson, or being mad at Donald Duck instead of Walt Disney. He urged not to criticize hardworking individuals like Kevin Hart, even if they seemed controlled. Kevin Hart responded calmly on Instagram, stressing unity among comedians and the effort required for success. He emphasized supporting one another and not letting conflicts hinder progress. Meanwhile, in 2016, Cat Williams escalated her feud with Hart by proposing a bold $5 million bet during a show in Philadelphia. Cat Williams challenged Kevin Hart, proposing various competitions with $1 million at stake: basketball, boxing, rap battle, and comedy showdown. He emphasized Hart's wealth, implying he'd bring his own money, and added a condition for Hart to leave his white friends behind. Dressed in his iconic fur coat, Cat was ready for the challenge before concluding. Cat shared an incident of unfair treatment in Georgia. He recalled untaid being mistreated and racially insulted by a store clerk who stole $500 from him. Despite this, Cat seemed to shift his stance towards Kevin Hart. During an appearance on V103's The Big Tigger Show in Atlanta in March 2016, Cat Williams openly apologized to Kevin Hart for harsh criticisms made during the Philadelphia performance. He acknowledged their shared experiences as African-American men and regretted attacking Hart severely. Cat admitted his wrongdoing and extended his apology to others associated with her, showing a moment of reflection and an effort to mend relationships. This radio interview seemed to mark a turning point for Cat Williams. However, by September 2018, the rivalry between Hart and Williams took a new turn, this time involving Tiffin Haddish. Williams criticized